So we're good with everyone. So you can start the intro.
All right. Benchwarmers To Breadwinners. Episode 2. We posted today, episode 1, on YouTube. Tried to get on Apple. We were struggling with that. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I spent all day trying to get it all going. BC, so what's up? We're sharing 2 mics with 3 people, so it might be a little difficult. But
Yeah, you guys might hear some echoes, but Park was grinding all day on posting it on YouTube, and I think we finally got Apple set up to post that, and I think he's supposed to be working on Spotify tomorrow. So hopefully we can do that. But getting into, maybe you guys listened to the pilot episode, which wasn't much, but it was, I guess, just a little bit about us. But today we have a special guest. One of my good friends and teammates while I was here at Kentucky, Kellan Grady, is here with us today as we're doing an episode tonight. I guess kind of a late night episode. Obviously, we're not live, but yeah, Kellan Grady's here tonight, so we're going to be talking to him with about a bunch of things about him, TBT, Kentucky basketball, just an episode about him, man. So, yeah. Kellan?
Glad to be here. Let's get after it.
Yeah.
dude, you're a really funny dude. Like, actually, I'm very surprised. Like, I did not, like, honestly.
I appreciate it. A lot of times I get credit for having a little bit of a weird sense of humor.
No, I love it. Yeah.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm glad I can get a couple people to laugh.
Yeah, definitely. Been enjoying TBT? BC, you been enjoying TBT?
I'll let Kellan go to that first, and then I'll hit on that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been an awesome week now, I guess, since we've been here. Lexington's a very special place. My year here was filled with a lot of good memories and met a lot of really impactful people. We had a lot of success on the court, so it's been really good to come back, experience Big Blue Nation again, be able to interact with the fans, engage with the community, things like that. And just also to be able to be a part of a team that is comprised of a lot of people that had a serious impact on this school, on this basketball program. During the course of Cal's 13 years here. Is it 13 or 14?
29, 20,
29, 23. Yeah, 14 years.
14 years,
It's
yeah.
14 years here. And just to see also how much it means to all these guys to be back here as well. It's just been a special experience overall. And I'm glad that we've been victorious in our 2 games so far, and I look forward to the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that you said. I mean, also for me, just being a part of the team that, I mean, I grew up watching a lot of these people play. You probably did too a little bit, Kellan. I mean, and also being able to be back on a team with, I mean, like I said, I played with Kellan for 1 year, it flew by. And then, like, once it's over, it's kind of over. You kind of just move on. But Kellan and Nate, so I definitely were teammates with those guys. And then just being able to be back on a team with them and share this moment. And also just being successful. I mean, just playing back in Rupp Arena is super fun, and the fans have been great the past couple of games. So hopefully that'll continue, and we can maybe get another game in Rupp on Thursday.
It hasn't been too long for you, BC. Already back, man. Couldn't stay away, could you?
Just a couple months, man. I didn't expect it to happen, but yeah, a couple months later, I thought I was done for good, but got another opportunity. Kellan, what? It's been 2 years for you?
Yeah, it's crazy because I was granddad when I was here, and now being like the youngest on the team, the guy with the.
I hold that role actually.
Okay, I guess you do, yeah. But I have the least amount of pro experience on the team, which is a stark contrast to when I was here, and I was the oldest guy with the most amount of college experience. So just a lot of this has been fun and really enjoyable, just being able to play with all the guys that shared the same experience, but also being able to pick up on some of the wisdom and knowledge that in the most subtle ways that they can provide just by being around them. So it's been cool.
Who's been the guy for y'all that's been, like, really cool? That didn't expect it, you know what I mean? Like, like, dang, this dude's like really a dope guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who would you say?
Honestly, if I could take this before you, BC, I'd say we've seen all these guys from afar, when we were little kids. I mean, I remember my dad pulling me into the living room when I was 12, telling me that I had to watch Coach Cal's new recruiting class at Kentucky with John Wall, Bledsoe, DeMarcus Cousins, et cetera, et cetera. And, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I'd be playing with E-Bled and on a team in any capacity. So, and he's a super down-to-earth dude. At dinner the other night, he was asking me where I'm from. We talked a lot about movies, our favorite movies, shows, things that we related on, life as a pro, life overseas, et cetera, et cetera. And that's been very consistent with a lot of the guys on the team. And I think, I had dinner tonight with Deb Moore, who's the SID for our program. And one of the things she said is it's so cool to see guys who were like kids when they were here come back years later in like an adult phase and see the transformation and see how they've matured and things like that. And we saw them as players here, but we get to experience them now as 8, 9, 10-year pros, and it's a cool perspective. So
yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, kind of like you hit on E-Bled. I mean, I remember going to a couple of Kentucky games for those years when John Wall and all those guys were here. But for me, it's kind of like I mean, James Young has been like hilarious. He's like kind of Kellan, I know you can relate to this, but
he's
like
one of the funniest dudes I've ever been around.
Like I'm always constantly laughing, whether it's on the bench or practice, whatever, just around him. Just like his presence is just hilarious. And I mean, just growing up with like watching that team, I mean, make it to like even the twins and James Young when they made it to the national championship and that like dunk that he had, just kind of like those memories growing up and just being in the same team as them and just like now sharing the relationships. And I like kind of like you related to at dinner the other night, like we were all sitting at tables and we're also telling like the same sort of stories that like we all share at Kentucky, but just like in different years. And it's crazy how it all relates back to the same thing. So like we all like weren't on the same team and weren't like obviously there at the same time, but we all have like the same exact stories that like we share with each other. So it's kind of easy to relate and like make connections and grow on that point from those stories.
But ultimately, like what that means, it's a testament to the program and the standard that's set. Like obviously, as most people know, I did 4 years at Davidson, and it's a very similar dynamic with all the Davidson alums. Guys that were there in 2011, 2012, we have a ton of jokes about Bob McKillop or things that iconic lines that he would always say or things like that, and similar experiences in the social element. And it's like you're a part of something, there's a standard, and in some way, whether you were there in 2010, 2013, 2017, 2022, 2023, in some way we can all relate. And there's like a shared brotherhood, even if you weren't a part of it at the same time. And I think that's what's made this past week, and I think that's what's going to make the TBT experience going forward special.
Yeah. So I guess now we want to kind of get into, I mean, obviously we talked about the TBT and what's upcoming for that, but I guess we want to talk to you, I guess. I mean, I know you pretty well, but I guess we're going to like share with the pod about, I guess your time at Davidson. If you want to hit on that, I don't think we have anything too specific. I mean, I know you played against Cal. What year was that? Is that your sophomore year?
No, 2017-18. So it was March of 2018, my freshman year.
Freshman year in the NCAA tournament. So I don't know if you want to like talk about your time there, talk about just like, hit on those points, maybe some experiences you had there and how that relates to, what is it?
I got a question too.
Okay, yeah. And I mean, Parks probably got a couple questions too, but I think that was like the next point of like what we were wanting to get into know.
You want me to just kind of talk about Davidson as a whole, or
yeah, I guess you can kind of compare it too, because I guess like next we're gonna feed into Kentucky, so just like compare it and then like what like just all that good stuff.
Man, Davidson, like obviously my year at Kentucky was really special, and Kentucky holds like a dear place in my heart. But Davidson's my alma mater. Like that's really, outside of Kentucky, I really bleed Davidson and the culture there and my experience there. So, I spent 4 years there. graduated from Davidson. Some of my closest friends are from Davidson, and we had a lot of success. My freshman year, I was fortunate enough to we won the A-10 championship. We got an automatic NCAA bid. We ended up playing Kentucky. I never ever thought that 4 years later I was going to end up playing for Coach Cal. I remember that game pretty well, guarding Shea for a lot of the game. That was nightmarish and to say the least.
That's
but
before he turned into Shea.
that was before.
Now.
That was before he became the player he is now, and he still had a pretty solid outing. But I remember it was a tie game at the end of 4 media timeout in the second half, and we gave him a good fight. But at any rate, so freshman year was obviously a huge success. I was fortunate enough to win Rookie of the Year, and the rest of my other 3 years, we also had a lot of success. We had winning seasons, and I think we maintained a level of, I guess, excellence, you could say, and made a lot of friends and had a lot of really good experiences. And as much as COVID was like a travesty to our country, it did provide the opportunity for me to have an extra year of college and be able to play at Kentucky with no consequences. And that's, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we wouldn't be having this podcast. We wouldn't be talking about the TBT, et cetera, et cetera.
I actually had a extra year of high school too. Yeah, because
I sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah.
Oh shit!
I did 5 years. High school.
Is this PG?
You can say whatever. It's cool.
I had an extra year.
Yeah, you're a grown man.
I had an extra year of high school anyway. But
did you?
I did.
5 years? Did you have to redo all
no,
your classes?
I transferred after my junior year from Catholic all-boys high school in Boston and went to prep school and reclassed.
Okay. Yeah.
So I redid my junior year.
Yeah,
so
that's
I ended
exactly
up doing,
what I did.
Yeah, I ended up doing 5 years of high school.
Yeah.
I had 5 years of college. That's why I'm 26 and only in my third year as a pro.
Yeah. Did you grow up like watching Kentucky? You said.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of inevitable when you're growing up. Like you watch Kentucky, you watch Duke, you watch Carolina, you watch all those schools. But I mean, when I was getting recruited in high school, I mean, it wasn't like it was slim pickings. I mean, I had like 20 scholarship offers, but like I wasn't. Schools like Kentucky, Duke, like those were not in the conversation. So
I guess we're kind of gonna get into your time at Kentucky. I remember when you first got to campus. I came outside of the lodge. You probably don't remember this.
Well, keep speaking.
You're getting out of your Jetta. I dapped you up and was like, "Who is this guy? Like, what are we doing here?" But no, I'm just kidding. But I do remember that because I remember meeting for the first time, and I mean, we had a good relationship, obviously, as we do now. But from the moment that you came onto campus, so I guess we're gonna kind of get into your time at Kentucky and like all the experiences we had that year. We had a really great team. I mean, a fun year, a lot of mostly ups until like obviously
until there was one down that a lot of people unfortunately kind of define our season by. No, man, we were 14-4 in the SEC. We were 16-0 at home. We went to T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on a neutral court and beat Carolina by 30. We went to Fog Allen Fieldhouse. We were up 50-30 at halftime and beat them by 20. And we went I'll say it again. We went 14-4 in the SEC and we were a 2 seed.
No, I mean
in the SEC tournament, 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. And now we shit the bed when it mattered most, and we got outperformed by a super hungry team who ended up making it to the Elite Eight. So obviously that they had something cooking at the time. I mean, it'd be one thing if they lost in the round of 32 right after, but they made it to the Elite Eight. Albeit, we should not have lost that game. And unfortunately, our season gets defined that way, but we had a really good season. And I remember at some point, Riley Welsh always tells me this, it wasn't a question of were we going to win, it was how much are we going to win by. Like mid-January to end of February stretch where we were really cruising. But that's the thing about a single elimination tournament. It can define a season, whether it's warranted or not.
No, and I remember even going to every game, like there was never a game where I thought that we were gonna lose.
That we didn't have a chance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like usually,
yeah.
Sometimes you go into games and you're like, oh well, maybe like whatever. But no, I mean, I totally agree. And it started like at the UNC game in Vegas. Like after we won there about 30, I guess that was kind of like we set the tone for the year after that. Obviously, SEC play, as everyone knows, is very challenging. Anywhere you play, you could win, you could lose. But I mean, every game we went into, it was like a no-brainer. Even the game at Auburn, like if Saw and Tata don't get hurt those games,
we were gonna win that game.
Oh, you win that game too, which is incredible. But kind of like
we came out and punched them. We were up like 15-6 or whatever the hell it was. Like
yeah, and I mean that Auburn's a tough place to win at. Tough place. But not even that. But I mean,
we
just
still almost got them. With that level.
It
was
I
a
don't even remember
competitive game the whole way.
Yeah, I mean that was that even that was kind of a difference maker. But like carrying that into what did we play Kansas late January?
It was I think January 20. It was like January 27th.
Yeah. Anyways, regardless, like I mean,
it was the Big 12 SEC challenge.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you go into that game and like obviously it's college game day, I believe, and then like that place is crazy, and then we just go on a crazy run, and then like you didn't even really get to experience Allen Fieldhouse because of that.
I will say to everyone listening, Fog Allen Fieldhouse, I have a ton of loyalty to Rupp Arena, but there is a solid argument that is the best college atmosphere in all of college.
I mean, it was nuts.
I remember in warm-ups being like, God damn. And then when I remember right before the jump ball, the five of us kind of looked at each other with like a head bob smile type thing, like, let's go do this. Because it was crazy. And my brother and some of my cousins had flown out, and one of my best friends came, and they were all like that was crazy.
No,
and
I mean,
we punched them, bro. We were up 50-30 at halftime.
I remember like even I mean that too, but like I had friends at the game too, and they were like, dude, it wasn't even like, I guess they kind of wanted to experience like the whole like Fog Allen Fieldhouse like atmosphere, and it just like at first it was there,
right? But then it died down because
it was just like
we was whooping their ass.
It was just silent, and then I remember the video, like the graphic that they put out of like you're all before the game on the court, and that was like one of the sickest graphics. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm talking about that video.
No, it was certainly deflating for the members of Lawrence, Kansas.
Is that one of y'all's favorite memories?
Oh yeah,
for Kentucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my favorite memories all the time. 5 years of it, and that's probably still like
that's one of my
two,
best
top
memories.
three. I mean,
my favorite memory ever was winning the A-10 championship.
Yeah.
My freshman year, but a lot of my memories at Kentucky are a close second.
That's what I say. I say
that was one of them. And going on neutral court in Vegas, everybody, Carolina, Kentucky, everyone thought it was going to be a nail biter, or Carolina was going to win. And for us to 30 ball them, Salvier had a great game. Like a bunch of dudes kind of got loose in that game. It was.
No, yeah, that was right before Christmas break too, right?
Yeah, and then we played Western Kentucky, and Oscar out-rebounded the team.
Yes.
28 to 27.
Yes. Not surprising at all, but
literally out-rebounded the team.
How was playing with Oscar?
It was great.
Like, what do you expect?
You could just throw the bitch up, and then he would get the rebound.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like it was one of those. I mean, if you were driving and you were in the paint, Kyle would get mad at you if you tried to make a home run play, because he would always say, just put it on the backboard. There's a good chance Oscar's gonna get it.
He's gonna be there.
And I mean, for everyone listening, picture out rebounding an entire team as one person.
It's insane. Yeah, I've never played it.
I remember it was kind of
It's unfathomable.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, it kind of became normal though, which was like kind of like so crazy. It's like he has like over 15 rebounds every game, where you're like, you didn't expect him.
He averaged 15 and a half rebounds a game in a 40-minute game when he didn't even average 31 minutes.
And you don't expect any, like, I mean, some teams don't even get over 20 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that's a pretty
it depends.
Crappy team.
Yeah. But for the most part, I mean, like, you would look up at I remember when you look up at the stats, you'd be like.
I think the overwhelming point here is he out-rebounded our whole team.
Yes.
And he had multiple 20-plus rebound games.
Almost 30.
And we also got weirdly accustomed to him missing layups and then just getting his own rebound and then making the next one. I remember in that Kansas game on the broadcast, because I was watching the film and I remember this vividly.
Yeah.
He missed 2 straight layups on each side. It was like he was doing the miking drill, but the ball wasn't going in the rim, right? Like you're supposed to be doing the miking, but he wasn't making them. And I remember looking at Jay Billis and Dan Schulman and just smiling. And they said it on the broadcast. Kellan Grady looks over here like, what is? Because he literally missed 2 layups on each side and then got the 3rd rebound, and then he made it, and then he did his little Oscar flex.
Oh yeah. I know exactly. What
Ran back down the court, cheesing ear to ear. But that was O, man. That was one of the most historic individual college seasons we'll ever see.
But yeah, literally ever.
It's kind of cheesy, but he's got like, people were saying they got aura. Like people were saying like plus 100. Yeah.
Oh man, Oscar walks in the building.
Aura.
There's an aura about that brother.
Oh man. And I love how he's like,
and he gonna
so
preach
positive.
to you.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And everyone gonna listen.
Everybody. That's one of my favorite things about him. How much he is preaching about the gospel and all that good stuff.
No, he's really guided by his faith. It's what guides him, frankly. So,
yeah, for sure.
He's a special dude.
Yeah, definitely. What is one thing like? Is there one thing that sticks out to you, being from like we were talking about you being from Boston? What is different about like up north and then coming down to? Is Kentucky considered the South, like Midwest, South, kind of like?
Depends on. I feel like it depends on what part of Kentucky you're in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's definitely true. If you're in Central Kentucky, I mean, I feel like even Northern, but
let's just say this. I'd say it encapsulates Southern culture pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah. It from a culture perspective, it's totally different. Southern hospitality, Southern culture as a whole, it's not even remotely close to what you experience in Boston. I mean, if people have seen movies or they've just heard stereotypes of, like, Boston is kind of like a lesser version of New York City. Very fast, very profane, very straightforward and blunt in terms of the way people communicate and the way people move and interact in the street and in the city, et cetera, et cetera. It's totally different and not really comparable to Southern culture in any way. But I went to school in Davidson, which is 30 minutes north of Charlotte. So I had some experience there. I remember my freshman summer, we're at a red light and it had just turned green and the dude in front of me didn't move quickly, or as he should have, should I say.
Hit the horn.
And I gave a little beep. And my teammate was from West Virginia. And he was like, "Kel, what are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean? He didn't move." And he was like, "Yo, if you beep in the South, you're like an asshole."
Yeah.
That's true, man.
That is true.
I was like,
I've never heard a horn, like, honestly.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. You guys in Boston, you guys would probably be driving like a neurotic, like your hands would be shaking on the wheel.
Ooh, I don't.
If you don't move, the second it turns green in Boston, New York, there's probably some other places in the Northeast, Philly.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you're getting, if you sort of cut somebody off. Also, BC, you were following me the other day. I'm like, yo, why is this dude 50 yards behind me? We just turned left together. And I feel like I'm going like 38. And it's like I might have like maybe gone in the right lane and gone to the left lane real quick, cut somebody off. But I was like 20 yards ahead of him. I didn't feel like it was an aggressive move. But it's just totally, everything is more fast paced. It's more forward. It's more upfront. It's just a totally different, like you're walking down the street in downtown Boston, like they're trying to get somewhere. You might get a shoulder. Like, it's just the way it is. Cussing, like, that's another thing. Cussing in the household is so much more normalized in the Northeast.
In the North, yeah.
All my friends from New York, from Boston, you go visit their friends, you hang with their families. Like, cussing is just, it's not like consistent, but it's a part of it. When I feel like when you're down south sometimes, you kind of got to like, Can I say shit?
Yeah,
You know?
can you say this? Yeah, no, exactly. In South,
It's just,
you don't
it's
really
just
cuss in the
different.
house.
Overall, it's just a different culture.
Yeah.
I actually just took a little job at a Italian restaurant there. Yeah, Italians like cussing, like talking very stern. It's like totally different. And then like you'd think they're like trying to cuss you out and like get mad at you, but they're just talking like normal. Like it's a part of their how they just interact, and you just gotta adapt. Like being from Kentucky, everything's cool, calm, very.
But I feel like that's a lot of the South and the Midwest. It's just a different culture, but as you experience it, you're able to kind of immerse yourself into the culture and kind of adapt. You know, I think I cursed a lot more in high school than I do now.
Yeah.
I mean, every kid's like, let me say my first cuss word. Just go crazy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But talking about driving, did you peep the little racing simulator outside the room? We're actually at me and BC's crib in Lexington, but yeah, we have a little racing simulator.
Yeah, I keep hearing about it. I'm not familiar with it.
Maybe we can get you on the Daytona 500 after this episode and see how you do. I mean,
now you're speaking gibberish. I don't even know what you guys. I don't even know what a racing simulator. I mean, I can use context clues and put it together, but I don't really know. I've never done any of that stuff before.
That's fair. Okay. So back to Lexington. Give us your. I know you like to go out to eat, maybe have a few drinks. You know, what's top 3 places to eat in Lexington?
Well, who's paying? What kind of budget are we talking?
I mean, I think. I mean,
all right, if I'm on a date,
you with the team, you know,
if I'm on a date or with my lady, we gonna go Frank and Dino's.
Okay. Yeah.
If there's an unlimited budget and it's just like best food in town, Jeff Ruby's or Tony's.
Okay.
And if it's a more mundane vibe, like, let's go out and get something to eat, maybe get a drink or two.
Yeah.
Agave and Rye doesn't ever miss.
I know we had a lot of good nights at
Agave. We had a lot of great nights at Agave.
Yeah. Oh, that was, yeah.
A lot of nights where we would try to, like 3 or 4 times, we tried to pay the bill and it was already paid.
Yeah. No. Agave and Rye was our spot whenever we were here.
Yeah, people looked out there.
Take me there.
I think we was there after.
It was always just like random fans and their families. They just pay the bill.
We went to Agave and Rye after like almost every. I mean, it was like a weekly thing. We were at Agave and Rye.
Riley Welsh he was kind of infatuated with that place.
Honestly, since you left,
Yeah, I know. You don't go to any of the places that we used to go to.
That's true.
I was a trend center. Okay.
Yeah, you did. I mean, we had our
trends.
We had our group though. You know, we always we would try to go get there at least a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
I guess kind of now transitioning into. I mean, Park. What did you have? I mean, I guess like. I'll let Park take over this.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of different like points, whatever. We were talking about AU stories and like the crazy stuff that goes on in AU. Like, me and BC didn't really want to touch on it because we were gonna wait for guests and stuff. Like, what kind of crazy AU stories do you have, or off the top of your head?
I think we can all like give our own favorite story from AU or craziest story from AU, because I got one off the top of my head that's pretty good.
Oh, dude, no specific stories, just overall, just a lot of crazy parents, a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense. Like, get in late on a Friday night for some live period tournament, and then you got like 3 games the next day, or depending on how you do, you might play 2 games on. It's just like, I know we were young, and evidently we all ended up doing okay. Like, we ended up playing in college, and most of us weren't injury prone, but like, it just doesn't really make sense. And I don't think you get the best out of the kid if they're, I think it takes, like, we play a game and we're like, I hope we don't play again for 3 days. Now that we're,
for sure,
but it puts more onus on the game itself if you know, all right, this is my game for the day. As opposed to like, all right, I got this one in the morning, I got this one at noon, and then I got another one at 3:30.
Yeah. Well, also you're looking forward to who you're playing. Like, oh, you're maybe playing like this 5-star the next game, and you need to win this game so you can see coaches of this game.
Yeah. Or it's like you gotta go 3-0 to hope that. Yeah. I mean, look, man. When I was doing it, like, I didn't know any better. It's like the kids these days on iPads when they're 12 and TikTok and all this shit. Like, they don't know any better. But when we were playing AAU, we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It takes the competitive element out of it. So I guess the answer to the question is I don't have a specific crazy story. I just remember a lot of craziness.
Like existed schedules and stuff. But I think my crazy story. I know I talked to maybe Parker about this. We played Under Armour my senior year, or I guess junior going to senior year. We played Anthony Edwards, and for some reason we were playing their game. Whatever, it was going good. It was a close game, and they ended up breaking the rim on our team. They broke the goal. So like the kid dunked. It wasn't even Anthony Edwards. Another kid dunked. Whatever. They broke the goal, so we had to wait for the other game to the court next to us to be done so we could like transition to that court. So like their game's like in the third quarter, whatever. This happens like the first half. And we have to wait like a whole nother 45 minutes to like continue the game. Right. Because the rim is broken, which is, I mean, I don't really know how that happens, but it was just like stuff like that. I mean, that was like my crazy story. I mean, we ended up winning the game, but I mean, we were playing Anthony Edwards and them on kind of like a half game. Like you play like 45 minutes and you get an hour break and then you play another, like the second half, that was my craziest story. I mean, there's a ton of crazy stories, but that's like the one that comes to mind to me for the AAU circuit.
For me, I wasn't really playing on the, shoot brand circuits like y'all were probably. I was playing on the little independent circuits and stuff like that. So it was probably a little more ratchet, you know what I mean? Just crazy, like anything you can think of probably happened. Like, I don't know, like I remember one, this isn't like in a game, but we slept it's just us, like their team, whatever. We slept in a weight room one time in a hotel. Yeah, I know y'all haven't done that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What? Yeah. We slept in a weight room because we was all just like, you know what? We got like 3 hotel rooms for all of us. We're just gonna chill. We're gonna sleep on the floor anyways, just cause that's what we're gonna do. So we might as well just go to the weight room and just have hella room for ourselves. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we went to the weight room, slept. I didn't get.
What?
Y'all slept in a weight room?
I didn't get no sleep. I was worried about somebody walking in and be like, "What the hell are y'all doing in the weight room at the hotel?"
And y'all woke up the next morning and played the game.
Exactly. Yeah, 8 a.m. probably. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, we was just always doing something silly, sleeping on floors.
I mean, we definitely had some crazy times in like the hotels and stuff like that, but ain't nothing like sleeping in a weight room.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, that's for the love of the game, because I don't think I would sleep in a weight room to wake up and play at 8 o'clock the next morning. That's for sure.
Kids play basketball on the no-name shoe circuit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, yeah, but so KG, favorite Coach Cal, I guess you could say punchline or memory, or like one thing. I know you got something you're like,
oh my God.
What the
it requires a visual though. No, like there's a video when Oscar, the last game in the SEC, the 18th game of the year against Florida.
At Florida or at home?
At Florida.
Okay.
It was the last game, and Cal's like galloping down the sidelines, like holding his pant up. I have it on my phone, but
why was he doing that?
He was at the ref. Oscar dunked it and made it, and I don't know. There's like a link or something I could post this to after. But that was my favorite Cal moment. I think it was against Vanderbilt when he practically kissed the ref when he was in his face. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember. Yeah.
Punchlines. Goodness, I don't know.
2 hands is like, I think I hear that in my sleep.
2 jeez. 2 hands.
Oh my gosh, dude, the 2 hands is like, if you don't, for people who don't know, if you don't go up with 2 hands for a rebound, he goes apoplectic. He steals, like, if you don't go after a ball with 2 hands, then you like automatically get like start the drill over. I mean, I can't say how many times in the 5 years I was there that we started a drill over perfection, for example, and because we didn't like catch the ball with two hands, or if you don't catch it with two hands, you got sprints, or like just anything with two hands. So like you don't get a steal with two hands. Like, oh, well,
he's right.
Yeah, he is right. 100%. I agree.
Definitely.
Speaking of perfection, everyone says they hated it. I didn't hate it. Did you hate it?
Perfection? No, I mean, I just thought it was
like
just
to me. It's just like throw it on the court, make a layup, and don't fuck up.
No, I mean, it was.
Pardon me.
It's
Excuse my French. I don't know. I know we're allowed to say a couple profane words. I don't know where that.
No, you're fine.
is,
But I mean, just starting practice every day with perfection was for me was just like one of those things. Like, you kind of just get tired of like.
No, you definitely get tired of it. But then again, it's just like just do it right and don't mess up.
No, and honestly, it's good because it makes you focus at the beginning of practice. So you're like,
I totally agree. And it's like once like we conquer perfection, it's like there's a good chance we're gonna have a good
so
practice.
perfection, guys. It's a drill we do. It's you everybody goes through and makes a right-handed layup, left-handed layup.
3 dribbles with the right hand.
3 dribbles
Only
up the court.
exclusively right-handed.
Yes, and if obviously left-handed, 3 left-handed dribbles, and then after that you go into box to box, which is essentially you run out of the court with another person, make a layup, and on the other end you can dunk it. You can't dunk it on the far end. On the other end you can dunk it. Obviously doing all this with 2 hands, and then you go to 3-man weave for a layup something like that.
For a layup first, then 3-man weave, 2 passes for
back,
a jump
yes,
shot,
and then
3 or 2.
yes, and then you go to the jump shot part of it. So it's like all that you got to make sure you do it with 2 hands, and there's a time on the clock. So I think it's 4 minutes 15 seconds, depending on how many guys are doing it. But I mean, that's essentially how you start practice every day.
Yeah, basically, it's not a hard drill, but there is the opportunity to make simple mental mistakes or simple mistakes. And then, like, there were definitely practices where it's like, start over. And then it becomes a easy thing for the coaches to get frustrated at.
Yes, and
it can be a really shitty
especially
start to
if you
practice.
had like, I mean, just relating back, like if maybe you had a loss earlier in the week and like
and
you have an off day and then you start with perfection.
If
It's
the
like,
next practice after a loss and you screw perfection.
you mess up perfection. It's gonna be a long day
Ooh la
because then
la,
you're like,
ooh la la.
I mean, I remember a couple of days like, I mean, we messed perfection up like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were there for that, but I maybe even this year we messed perfection up 3 or 4 times. And you're like, dude, like we haven't even started practice yet. So you're just adding time onto practice, essentially doing perfection.
Yeah.
And I mean,
100%.
sometimes, I mean, I know guys would be like begging for the layup drill. We did layup drill when you were here, right? Like
yeah.
you ended around, yeah. I mean, you would kind of like prefer that to happen rather than the perfection.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I have a practice story after we lost. So we have this in my area. We have this, like, I guess not stadium, but like arena type thing. It's called the Sports Center. All right, so it's like we have our region there.
The one in Lexington by the mall?
No, it's in
I'm kidding.
it's in Old Beaver Dam.
Oh, Beaver Dam.
Yeah, come on. Or actually,
Down
no,
the
it's not
country
Beaver Dam.
road.
It's in Owensboro, but yes, near Beaver Dam. Near Beaver Dam. All right. Sorry, I was getting too worked up in the countryness of myself. But all right. So yeah, we played a game there. It's like just to get used to it for like region, whatever. That's how you go to state.
Yeah.
And then, so we play this little small Catholic school. They have probably 100 students.
Yep.
And they're usually decent, like at basketball, whatever. We're supposed to beat them, and we lose probably about like, I don't know, 10 or 15. It was not a good game. Oh, you're good. We go to practice the next day. We're running, like ball overhead, and we have those obviously like simple fundamental drills. We can't do it several lives, and yeah, it's practice. It's hell. Just because, yeah, you can't do the simple things, and it's just terrible. That was probably one of my worst practices I've ever had in my life. You know? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we can all relate to like awful practice.
I think one of the reasons, I never missed a layup once in perfection.
honestly,
Can you remember me ever?
no, I mean, I don't want to like one up you, but I was here 5 years.
I never saw you screw up.
Yeah,
either.
I've never ever. Honestly, the first time that I participated in perfection my freshman year, I was nervous as shit, and I thought I was gonna miss a layup. And like honestly, that nervousness kind of never went away. But I never missed one in 5 years that I was here.
When you really think about it, it's a layup.
No, it is. But then you start thinking about it, and you're like, dude, like if I'm like because essentially I was like one of the last ones going. I'm like, dude, if I miss this layup, or even when you go to 3-man leave and three-man weave and you shoot the left-handed layup, you're like, oh, like you don't want to be the one to miss that.
Full court perfection.
Yeah, full court perfection. Yeah. So you just don't want to be the one to do that because then you're like everybody else. Like,
but Bob McKillop was a detail master. Like
which Cal is too.
He would like get in like a squat, smack his legs, and be like, details, man. Yeah, like call out a player and be like, the freaking details. You know, like he was like psychotic in his own way, not in the Cal way, but so all of the things that we had to do that were like very detail oriented, they didn't like overwhelm me because I had done it for 4 years.
Right.
Like I remember John Welsh and Riley went to a Davidson practice and they were like that when Bobby was still there. He's now 2 years out. He retired when Jay Williams and Roy Williams, or Jay Wright and Roy Williams retired.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's the best college run practice I've ever seen. And I stand by that. I dare you to find now maybe the content of the practice or what's going on in practice may not be as good, or the drills or what you're working on.
Yeah.
But you won't find a better run practice than a Bob McKillop Davidson basketball practice.
So did you ever meet Steph? I mean, that's your idol. Come on, man.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Is that actually your idol? Like, let's hear about it, man. Come on.
So yes, Steph was my idol growing up. I remember when I was 8, this was during his time at Davidson. He was in Sports Illustrated. My dad put a Sports Illustrated on the coffee table in the living room and told me to look at his form. And I saw like a resemblance, light-skinned, skinny kid. I was only a little kid at the time.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite player the second I saw that picture. I remember I used to go outside all the time and mimic everything he did. So, he played West Virginia at the Garden. He did this on a possession. I would take the same dribbles, do the same move, shoot the step back, count in my head. And then when I was 11 or 12 during the NBA lockout in his third year, his brother was playing for Duke against Davidson at Duke. And one of my dad's best friend's brother was a season ticket holder. So we went to the Duke game against Davidson. I always wanted to go to Davidson. And after the game, I met Steph. We took a picture.
That's fire.
A lot of the games when I was at Davidson, it'd be all over ESPN and stuff like that. And then when I got there, he would come once a year for a game. So I met him my freshman year. Then he invited me to his camp, and I worked as a counselor at his camp and got to work out with him. Freshman summer, same thing, sophomore summer. Then COVID hit. Then I didn't see him again until I worked out for the Warriors. And I talked to him a little bit then. And that was the last time I saw him. So that was
2 or 3 years ago?
Spring of 22.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, we're cool if we see each other. But
Yeah,
there's no,
right,
like,
right,
people over the years have acted like we're like friends. Like, no, we're not.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
if we see each other, we'll have a conversation.
Yeah. Which that's super cool to have that connection. I mean, obviously both playing at Davidson and
Yeah, but remember, when I was growing up, until I was like 16, I'd never. Everyone dreams to play in the NBA, but my goal was to play college basketball.
Yeah, right.
I never even imagined playing Division I basketball because it didn't seem attainable. I was never that tall. I was always really good. I was always like the best player on my team and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go play or star at Davidson or go find your way to Kentucky or things like that. And then I eventually got to like 6'1" and 6'2" as a sophomore. And then all of a sudden I was 6'4", 6'5", and then doors started to open. And then it was like, wow, Davidson or college basketball was attainable. I remember getting so hyped when Division II schools started recruiting me when I was a sophomore, and Brown and Princeton and Harvard were getting involved. And I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. And then like, remember my AAU director was like, Kellan, this is great, but let's take this with a grain of salt.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't understand that because that was never, nobody ever envisioned all the things that have happened.
Exactly. No, yeah. I mean, that's kind of with like anybody. Honestly, it kind of seems like a common theme with people at this level. It's like you start out whatever, and then like when it actually all happens, you're like not expecting it to happen. It's like when you least expect it to happen, it happens. I don't know, but that's kind of
except for the kids that, like the Harrison twins, like what Tyler said today in the locker room. Like,
yes,
y'all been the best dudes since we were kids.
Yes.
Like there are certain dudes who just were always like that.
Yeah, that stood out to me too. I was like, yeah. No,
like when Tyler said
right.
that, like that, I actually that really resonated with me. Like, yo, y'all.
Me too.
Been, that obviously means on a national level since they were like in fifth, sixth grade.
Literally,
like they were.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was like,
he was like,
he's actually
y'all
so
been the
correct.
best.
Yeah.
Since we were kids. Like,
yes.
I don't even know the dude's name that you're talking shit to. That's that. First of all, that had me. Internally, I was dying. He was like, I don't even know who this dude is that you guys were. I don't even know his name.
No, it's so funny because they're like low key the same person. I was talking to someone else. Like, they're inseparable. Like,
bro. I was telling my dad that today on the phone. I'm like, yo, Aaron talking shit with someone. Andrew talking. They yelling at each other about the same thing. They hold each other accountable for the same thing. They play the same damn way. They shoot the same damn way. The only thing that's different is one got a low cut, the other one got a little bit of a fade going, and one got a darker beard than the other. But I'm like, yo, these two, they might as well be a clone.
That's how I was telling them apart. But that's what I was saying too. It was so funny to me because I was watching them on the bench and like, I think Andrew was on the court and he was talking shit to the other guy, and then Aaron started getting up because he's like, oh, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Just having each other's back. But I was like, dude, that is the funniest thing that I can see. Is
I actually think that's dope.
No, it's awesome.
Dope as hell though. Like to have, imagine being like this.
Yes.
And having the same capacity to play the game you love.
Yeah.
And being like inseparable.
Yeah.
And freaking looking the exact same. Like, of course they're.
Well, even like most, like honestly, like the most twins though aren't like that. That's what I asked to you and I asked James. I was like, yo, so have they like been like this like since you've known them? And they were like, dude, like since the moment we met, they're inseparable. Like they're just always together. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, because most of the times that's not the case. But no, like.
See, at dinner the other night, like. All in the same wave, like one wine, two wines, like drinking it. Like if you look at bro, I was like the second glass. I was looking at the glasses. They're diminishing at the same rate. I'm like, yo, they sip it the same way.
Well, no, it was funny because we were sitting beside each other, and I can't remember. I think it was Aaron, and he was like, this seat. He was like, oh, this is for my brother. Saying not yet, like that can be for you and your brother. Just so they sat beside each other at dinner, and I was that really got me laughing. But no, to wrap it up, I mean, we appreciate you coming on. I guess Park wanted to play a game with you about start bench cut. We kind of did this. Okay. We kind of did this yesterday. So we're gonna hit you with. Is this
basketball?
It is basketball. So we're gonna do a Kentucky one. Park's gonna do one. I'm gonna do one, and then we're gonna do an NBA one, obviously. But we're gonna do a Kentucky NBA start bench cut. So we're gonna hit you with that.
Bench cut.
Hold up. Do you watch other sports? Are you pretty like? What other sports do you watch?
No.
Anything else? No. We're not gonna do anything else.
There's autonomy here. Let me answer for myself.
Any soccer? Any? MMA maybe? I mean...
No. I don't watch any of that, whatever the hell that you just said. No, I mean, I watch the NFL.
Okay. We'll stick to basketball.
Just stick to basketball.
Yeah, we'll stick to basketball.
So Park's going to do his Kentucky start bench cut first, and I'll do mine, then you can do... Actually, matter of fact,
how broad of an audience is this?
Nah.
First episode got like 50 views. I mean...
Okay, so not that broad.
Well, we posted it today, though.
We did post
today was our first episode,
yeah,
okay?
for sure. We'll get there.
Pipe down over there.
All right, we'll get... Yeah, we got a little audience. Kev, Kelsey, and Mr. Wave. You probably heard him smacking his lips in the mic earlier.
Yeah, we got a cute little dog in here.
Oh, yeah. All right, start bench cut.
He's a Brad Pitt of male dogs, y'all.
Okay, Kellan, as you say that, you're like the third person that have said that, actually. Somebody was... Matthew McConaughey, I'm sorry, but yeah, he was called Matthew McConaughey of dogs, which is we're just gonna skip that. We'll cut that out.
No, it's all good.
Okay, so back to Park.
How about my mom got a big crush on Denzel. I never really understood it, but anyway, what's your question? Go ahead.
All right, we're on start bench.
Wait, how familiar are you with the history of Kentucky basketball? Let's go from Cal era. We'll do Cal era, but like from 29 to 24, you're pretty... Okay.
Very.
All right, let's go.
I mean, most of you guys are in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't live under a rock.
We're also doing prom, so like...
Yeah, guys, I'm well equipped to answer these questions. Jesus Christ.
All right, I got two people, so I'm gonna go start bench cut. I'm starting with Shea, Tyrese Maxey, and we'll go.
Wait, before you even ask the last one, is this how they are now
Yes,
as pros?
at Kentucky.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, at Kentucky.
Let's do at Kentucky.
Okay,
Well, why don't I answer both?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
so we'll go
So
Shea,
Shea, Tyrese.
and Tyler Hero.
Oh.
Mm,
At Kentucky, I'm cutting Shea.
Okay.
that's fair.
I'm starting Tyler, and I'm benching Tyrese.
Okay.
In the NBA,
That's totally fair.
I'm starting Shea, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm benching Tyrese, and I'm cutting Tyler.
Okay.
I feel like that's pretty
Yeah, no,
unanimous.
it is.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
That's a great first one.
Yeah, that was a really.
Great-
I'm
great
gonna
job.
go. We're gonna go at Kentucky. So what I'm gonna say is we're gonna go at Kentucky. So we're gonna go kind of
If you include me, I'll be self-sabotaging, and I'll say cut.
I'm not gonna include you. We're gonna go.
Yeah, I guess I don't really
We're gonna.
pair in the realm of those guys.
I'm gonna hit you with a little tricky one. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna go. Let's go.
Today would be nice.
Come on, man. We're gonna Reed Shepherd.
Okay.
We're also gonna go De'Aaron Fox,
Okay.
and lastly, we're gonna go Brandon Knight.
Okay. Tricky for Reed because for the pro element because he.
Yeah, no, that I was gonna put that into the
Okay,
end,
so
but yes.
let's just do college.
We'll do
first.
yes, correct.
It was Reed, Brandon, and
De'Aaron Fox.
uh,
Oh, I got you stuck here. Oh wow.
well, because Brandon's team went pretty far.
Yeah, they beat the number 1 seed Ohio State that year. Jared
as
Salter.
the 8 seed.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean Reed was incredible. If you want to epitomize efficiency, you just look at Reed Shepherd's
Yeah.
numbers. But we lost in the first round.
Yeah.
12 points. I mean, what did Brandon average? 14, 15?
Yeah, I'm not even
Maybe
sure.
more?
Probably he's the best player on the team. Yeah.
You know what something my dad used to always say when we was kids? Do the Google. I swear he said that.
But
Everyone
also with
listening, I
De'Aaron
hope you
Fox that
guys-
lost at UNC and maybe the Elite Eight. Was it the Elite Eight?
Okay,
I
one
think it was
sec,
Elite Eight.
one sec. Just for some perspective here, just so I'm, because I think I have this. I think I know what I want to say. Oh, Brandon was only here for 1 year.
Yeah, he was here 1-9.
Yeah, 17 a game. Okay, and they made it to the national championship, right? All right, we're going. Okay, De'Aaron start, bench Brandon, and we got to cut Reed.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean
And
that's
that
totally fair.
like.
Yeah.
Those are three really
Really,
tough
no,
teams because
no.
obviously Reed was exceptional this year, but that's the thing. That's what makes this place so special.
I
We're
agree.
cutting Reed Shepherd
Yes.
when you name two other guards.
Honestly,
If
those
you were
two,
named two other guards at Davidson and someone were to cut me, I'd look at them like they got 22 heads.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's.
You know?
I tried to come up with a
I'm not
really
even
good
in
one
this-
to
I'm not
you.
even remotely close to being in any of these conversations.
I tried to. I tried to.
I wasn't too shabby when
You
I
had
was
an
here.
incredible year when you were here. Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm gonna go NBA. Let's go. Let's go Kawhi. Which I'm not a fan of, but Kawhi, James Harden.
Yep.
Kawhi, James Harden,
Who was the Reed?
Paul George,
It was De'Aaron, Brandon,
and Reed. Yeah,
That's fair.
I mean, I don't know how you don't do that.
yeah. No, I mean, totally.
All right, so Kawhi, James, and Paul George.
Yes, very all similar. Let's see
You're
what
just
you.
trying to name like polarizing guys that people
Kind
don't
of.
want to be that
Yeah,
engaged in.
honestly, yeah. I just want to hear your opinion on this.
Well, is this a perfect healthy world or is this like
Primes,
reality?
all primes.
Is this so? This isn't prime reality.
Yeah.
Oh, then I go Kawhi,
Okay, because you want a chip.
2 chips.
Yeah,
Chip with the Raptors. When he's healthy, he's shown up. He's shown up in big moments.
yeah.
And then PG and James, they both flake when the pressure hits most. But PG took
He did take.
he took the Clippers to the conference finals when
He did.
Kawhi was out in Ty Lue's first year, and James always folded when those moments hit him.
James did average like 30 some though for.
Yeah, he averaged 37 a game,
Yeah.
and he was literally unstoppable.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what happened that year?
No, I mean you're
He folded.
totally right. I was just
So
I was
I'll go Kawhi, PG, and
James. Okay, yeah. Okay, no, Park, your NBA.
But can you do some less polarizing figures, please?
Sorry.
Okay, I can do that for sure.
Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna go. Might be going a little too not polarizing, honestly. Darren Collison.
Isn't he playing in the fucking TBT?
He is. That's why I said him.
I actually know him a little bit. He's a good guy.
Cool guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, how about we'll just go scratch the start bench cut.
Yeah.
Hardest player you've had to guard ever.
Oh, so we're completely scratching the
Yeah. Yeah.
topic right now.
Yeah.
Brennan, Canada.
Probably,
Bail.
I don't know. I got matched up on CP3 once in the CP3 camp when I was a freshman. That didn't go so well. Actually, Kemba Walker was in his prime. When he was with the Hornets, there was this dude that was really connected to Davidson who had like a mansion, and he had a full court in his house, and he would host runs with Hornets players, and I guarded Kemba a good amount, and that was.
Hill.
I remember one time I tried to like press up on him, like guard the touch, try to reach
Dude,
once.
is Kimball playing in TBT too?
No, Kemba retired.
Dude,
He played in my league in the French league this year. He averaged 5 points a game.
Yeah, actually, we were gonna,
How much?
5.
we were gonna
Played
talk
for
about
Monaco.
that. That's with Mike
But
James.
prime Kemba was a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Mike James, he plays for the Monaco team
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah,
We didn't even talk about how do you like overseas? I have some experience overseas, not much, but
as in a traveler or as a player.
basketball.
You played overseas?
No, I played in this like tournament overseas. So yeah, it was nothing crazy.
I mean, it was a up and down year for us, but I mean, being overseas was cool. It was cool to experience another culture and
Basketball.
all that. And I'm excited about going to Germany, and not just playing in the German league, playing in European competitions. So I want a couple better to wrap this up. I want a couple better start bench cuts than freaking Kawhi, James, and PG.
All right,
Can you provide that?
I got you. You want? Do you prefer position? You want Kentucky or you want NBA? What are we doing here?
I thought that's what the theme was.
So-
and then we just kind of went off
You want
script.
Kentucky?
I thought we were doing both.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Well, okay, let's do one more both, and then give me like maybe one or two good NBA ones.
Kentucky. We're gonna.
I feel like I'm the executive producer
Yeah,
now.
no.
Not you guys.
You can't be if you want to be, but we're gonna go Malik Monk.
Oh, Malik and I worked out for a whole summer in Charlotte.
We're gonna go Malik Monk. That is a good one. We're gonna go Kevin Knox.
Okay, well, what's next? So this is pretty easy already.
Malik Monk, Kevin Knox, Eric Bledsoe.
Kentucky, Malik,
Starting Malik. I mean, yeah,
Malik,
47.
Eric, Kevin, NBA. Just because of the longevity, Eric, Malik, Kevin.
Yes. Okay. I like that. Park.
Sorry, Kelsey.
What am I going college as well? Or Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Okay. I can do I gotta think. You just hitting buttons, man? What are you doing?
Come on, bro. I hit the one a second and goes wah, wah, wah.
Probably gonna hear that.
Give me a good NBA one to close out, and we'll let all these
Stumped.
faithful listeners hopefully have
Me to give
enjoyed
it?
a good episode.
We can team up. I mean, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Like a good debate.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's go Klay Thompson,
Okay.
Ray Allen.
We're not even sticking to the same era here.
Okay, no, okay, scratch it. We'll stick to the same era. We'll go
Jeez,
Klay
come on.
Thompson, JJ Redick, Okay.
Yes, they got to be comparable in accolades and skill in what they've achieved. Like I need like a
Jokic and B. Dwight Howard.
no, that's
Primes.
fair in their prime.
Yes.
Jokic and beat Howard.
That's how you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Nikola Jokic is one of the 5 or 7 best basketball players to ever play this game.
Well, that's a bold statement. I mean,
I don't think it's
I
that
don't
bold of a
disagree
statement.
with
And
that right now.
Part of why I say that is because I lived in Denver for
Yeah.
2 months. And some of the shit I would see him do just instinctively and so naturally, it was just like, oh my God.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with this. I mean, all in their prime. I mean, Jokic is arguably the best player in basketball.
I was
right now.
hoping for like Jamal, Jaylen Brown.
Is that even comparable? Jamal Murray to Jaylen Brown?
I mean, shit, if we were talking a
Talking
year
about
ago.
Finals MVP.
If we were talking a year ago.
I mean, I guess, but
Anyway, guys,
yeah, Parker.
Done an
I
hour.
appreciate you guys
for sure.
having me on.
We'd go for another hour if we wanted to. But,
Yeah, I
it's
think we
about
probably
midnight.
will
Yeah.
once we hang this up
Yeah, we
or
definitely
press
will.
end or whatever the hell you guys do on the podcast.
We'll have to have you back, man. We appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Thank
no, I
you.
mean,
My
we
pleasure.
appreciate you coming on, KG, and we're gonna wrap this up. We actually have another guest coming on. What is it? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, we'll get this one posted up to probably not tonight, but tomorrow we'll get this posted up, and you guys can listen to this. And we appreciate you guys listening.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
See you, KG.